Diary Extract 1. Dear Diary, I've never found it easy to write, especially about myself, but my psychiatrist recommended I do this to release stress. I see her every Friday when I'm in the country, or will arrange a video chat if I'm not, but apparently telling her about my work isn't enough. I've got to tell you about it too. Anyway, I started my day like I normally do. I awoke at 6 PM and began my 2-hour training session. After that, I had a meal and called my boss. He didn't answer after 3 rings, which means I'm wanted for a cotsy. So I get dressed up in my suit, take my empty briefcase and make my way to the train station. A cotsy is code for an assignment. I bring an empty briefcase onto a train, and when the lights dim like they always do in the unpredictable trains of New York, sure enough my briefcase gets swapped with an exact duplicate, only with contents inside. These contents consisting of a whole load of paperwork. Sometimes of names, addresses, businesses. The papers I got today were of a file for a man named Carlisle O'Day. I remember all of the names. I subconsciously tattoo them in the back of my mind with a dirty needle so it gives me headaches that keep me up through the morning. The thing about a cotsy is I need not know anything about who I'm assigned to, who they are, what they do, how many kids they have, nothing. And these files aren't the kinds that inform you of every little thing these people have been up to. Their purpose is to let a guy like me know everything I need to find them. And I'm a man with an already comprehensive knowledge on finding people. See, smart people hide where they are most safe. Smarter people hide where they're most unsafe. And the smartest people, they don't hide at all. They run circles around you. See, I took a guess with Carlisle, skimmed through his file and saw no records of tax payments, no hospital records, no bank withdrawals or deposits, no financial ties of any kind. This would mean he's working for the government. The only other type of people capable of pulling off a complete disavowal are people like me. And Carlisle O'Day is not a man like me. So I get off the train and go to a contact I have up in Queens. His name is Caspian. He used to work for an organization that was tied with the SOD. They were responsible for gaining as much information about people as possible. He left the organization 3 years ago, became a new man so to speak, and now he sells stolen information to the highest bidder. He has property all over the world, but his business is in Queens, guarded by his army of thugs, where he's notorious for being the wealthiest, most untouchable man in the underground. To everyone other than me, of course, but I'll write about that at a later time. So Caspian took me into the computer room with all the files, and what did I see? A man sitting in the center of the room with a gun aimed directly at me. I said, "Who the hell are you?" He says, "I'm a man of my word." I say, "What's your word?" He says, "To kill you if you don't help me." I stare. Thought to myself at the time, this man is Carlisle O'Day. He's not working for the government are looking for him. But my job is simple: find the man, kill the man, carry on with my pathetic excuse for life, and forget about everything. But the look in that man's eyes while he aimed his P99 at my sweaty forehead was enough to make me want to know more. Why are the government after him? What did he do? But more importantly, what am I going to do? So I decided to listen, and this man spills the beans. Long story short, O'Day was an ex-assassin for General of the Army Barney Matthews for 6 years. One day he gets a call from Matthews to assassinate President Lakemore at the peace treaty between America and Afghanistan. Turns out Matthews didn't want that treaty to take place, so that the states could continue an overwatch on Afghanistan and maintain some kind of authority over them. The murder was to be framed on the Afghans, a way of saying stuff your treaty, we don't need you, and the war was to resume. O'Day refused the mission and threatened to reveal the plan to the White House if Matthews didn't lay off the president and pay a ransom of $50 million and complete disavowal from the US Army. Matthews had no chance but to submit. The peace treaty takes place, and sure enough the President Lakemore is assassinated and the murder is framed on O'Day, who supposedly organized with the Afghans to plan the attack. The money transfer was set up by Matthews to look like an inconsistency of payments, as O'Day's cover was as a financial aid for the general. A price was put on O'Day's head, so to speak, by the general, and he made sure the citizens of the US would never know he was supposedly involved in the murder of President Lakemore. So I tell O'Day, give me a day to think about it, and I go home. I've still got another 48 hours to make a decision, so I sit back in my chair and think. My problem is, if I help this man, I go against everything I've been working towards for 7 years. Failing to complete a mission assigned to me is in direct breach of my agency's rules, and a price would so eloquently be put on my head. I ask myself, is it the right thing to do to help this man? And then I answer myself with another question. Isn't Barney Matthews one of the co-founders of the agency I work for?